Is there anything more terrifying for a Blue Jays fan than watching a lead evaporate in the 8th inning because we simply didn't have the right arm to shut the door? Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving headfirst into a rumor that feels less like speculation and more like a lifeline thrown to a drowning man. We are talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, a team that has essentially put a "everything must go" sign on their front lawn, and how their fire sale could deliver exactly what Toronto has been screaming for. The question isn't just, can we get him? It's, can we afford not to get him? Let's set the stage properly. The St. Louis Cardinals have been absolutely ruthless this offseason. They have shipped off Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Arenado, and Brendan Donovan. They are tearing it down to the studs, rebuilding from the ground up with young, controllable talent. And standing there amidst the rubble of a once-great roster is JoJo Romero. He is a lefty reliever coming off a spectacular age, 28 season, where he posted a sparkling 2.07 ERA over 61 innings. He is on an expiring contract. He is elite, and according to the insiders, he is practically already packing his bags. Bleacher Report's Kerry Miller dropped a bombshell prediction on Friday that has the entire league buzzing. He predicts that by the time the dust settles on this season, JoJo Romero will be wearing Blue Jays blue. Why? Because our bullpen, while talented, has glaring holes that were exposed brutally in the postseason last year. We are short on reliable lefties. We are short on guys who can come in with runners on second and third and strike out the side without breaking a sweat. Miller put it bluntly: any St. Louis Cardinal with fewer than 3 remaining years of team control is unofficially already on the trade block. That puts a giant target on Romero's back, and Toronto is holding the bow and arrow. This isn't just a rumor, it's a perfect storm of supply and demand. To understand why this move is so critical, we have to look at the history of championship bullpens. You don't win the World Series with just a good closer. You win it with a stable of monsters who shorten the game to 6 innings. Think back to the Royals in 2015 or the Astros' recent runs. They had depth. They had options. Right now, the Blue Jays are looking at a situation where we might need to replace, or at the very least, support Jeff Hoffman in the 9th inning. Hoffman is great, but relying on one man to be the savior every single night is a recipe for disaster. We have seen this movie before, and the ending usually involves a silent clubhouse in October. Let's talk about the market value here, because this is where it gets interesting. We have historical precedent for what a rental lefty of this caliber costs. Remember 2024? The Miami Marlins traded Tanner Scott, a rental lefty, and got an absolute haul of 4 prospects in return. That was the price of doing business for a high-leverage arm. Now, Romero might not bring back exactly that level of return, but make no mistake, the Cardinals know what they have. They are salivating at the idea of creating a bidding war. They want to squeeze every ounce of value out of Romero to fuel their rebuild. This creates a fascinating tension. The Cardinals are going to be watching Romero's outings like hawks, hoping he dominates, so his price tag skyrockets. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays front office has to weigh the cost. Do we pay the premium now? Do we wait until the deadline when 5 or 6 other desperate teams are also calling St. Louis? It's a game of poker, and the pot is getting bigger with every scoreless inning Romero throws. The connection between Toronto's need for a lefty and St. Louis's desire to sell is so obvious it hurts. It's a natural fit, perhaps the most natural fit on the entire trade market right now. Now, let's analyze the impact. Bringing in a guy like JoJo Romero isn't just about adding an arm. It's about changing the entire dynamic of the late innings. Imagine a world where the manager doesn't have to hesitate when a dangerous left-handed hitter steps up in the 8th inning of a tie game. Romero gives you that luxury. His 2.07 ERA isn't a fluke. It's the result of elite stuff and composure. But here is the catch, and there is always a catch. If the Blue Jays pull the trigger on this, it signals an all-in mentality that puts immense pressure on the current roster to perform. You don't trade prospects for a rental unless you truly believe you can win the whole thing this year. Let's project the future scenarios. Scenario A, the Blue Jays wait. They try to patch the bullpen with internal options or minor league call-ups. Maybe it works for a month or two, but what happens when the dog days of August hit and the arms are tired? We risk burning out our starters because we don't trust the bridge to the closer. Scenario B, we trade for Romero early. We pay a steep price, maybe losing a top 15 prospect, but suddenly the bullpen becomes a fortress. The psychological boost to the starters, knowing the lead is safe, cannot be overstated. It changes the way the game is managed. However, we have to be realistic about the competition. The article mentions that the Cardinals will likely have their pick of 5 or 6 teams at the deadline. We aren't the only ones starving for relief help. The Yankees, the Dodgers, the Braves, they are all going to be circling. If Romero continues to pitch like an ace reliever, his price could reach a point that makes our front office uncomfortable. This is where the cap hit and asset management conversation gets ugly. Can we afford to deplete the farm system further? Half the fan base is screaming, just win now, while the other half is terrified of mortgaging the future for a guy who might leave in free agency 3 months later. It is the classic dilemma of the modern contender. So, where does this leave us? The prediction is on the table, JoJo Romero to the Blue Jays. It makes too much sense to ignore. The Cardinals are selling, we are buying, and the specific need for a high-leverage lefty is the missing piece in our championship puzzle. But predictions are just words until the paperwork is signed. The reality is that this potential trade represents the fine line between a deep playoff run and another season of what-ifs. The front office has to decide if they have the courage to make the move that hurts the farm system but heals the major league roster. Ultimately, baseball is a game of seizing moments. The window for this core group of Blue Jays players isn't going to stay open forever. If JoJo Romero is the key to locking down those tight games in October, then the price, whatever it is, might just be worth it. We need to stop being afraid of the cost and start being afraid of losing. The Cardinals have made their intentions clear. Now it is time for Toronto to make theirs. I want to hear from you guys right now. This is the debate of the day. Would you trade a top 10 prospect for 3 months of JoJo Romero if it meant fixing the bullpen for a World Series push? Or is the price of a rental too high in today's game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. Don't forget to smash that like button if you want the front office to wake up, and subscribe for more exclusive Blue Jays updates. Let's make some noise.